Real Estate Talk discusses the ins and outs of our local housing industry. Sponsored by Keller Williams, Spokane.
Well, hello, folks. I am Ken Sax, and you are listening to Real Estate Talk once again. Welcome to my kitchen/dining room. We are in the midst of a pandemic, in case you don't know, and so we are all on stay-home orders from not only the state of Washington where we are, but I'm pretty sure that whatever state you're in as well. So, with that comes all of these adjustments and transitions, whether we have a home office, whether we're taking over the kitchen, whether our family is in support of that or not. There's just a lot of things going on and a lot of changes we have to make. And so we wanted to do a show kind of on, best practices now that we find ourselves working from home. Maybe you've never worked from home before and it's completely new to you. Maybe you're very used to working from home, and so it's not a big change for you. But that's what we're going to talk about today, folks. And thank you for being here. And my guest, the one and only Miss Tanya Tyler, broker extraordinaire with Keller Williams Spokane. Tanya, hello, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. And I think that working from home is an interesting topic because as most of us are doing it, and some people actually enjoy doing it, some people don't enjoy doing it. And I am a person that does not do well working from home. I never have. I've always had to have an office at the, a brick and mortar. And this has been an interesting adjustment for me, shall I say. So. Yes,
absolutely. And for all of us. And so, I don't really like working from home that much either, especially, being forced to work at home and at home every day. A little bit here and there is okay. But, we're a lot of us are social animals, and a lot of us kind of feed off, seeing one another and communicating with one another. I've been, as you know, teaching a lot of classes because all of our live classes are also shut down. So I've been doing a lot of classes this way, which is really difficult for me because I'm hyper, I pace, I read off people. And so it's just all very interesting, and one we don't have a choice with. So, we want to talk about maybe some of the things we've learned since we've been in this situation, maybe some failures we've had and some adjustments we've made. So, let's get into that. And the first thing that I have on my list is, where are you going to work? Where in the house are you going to work? I'm down in my kitchen right now, and you're probably not far from your kitchen right now as well, but it's finding that spot.
Yeah, I live in a really small house. I've had this house for a long time, and it's 805 square feet. So it's a very tiny little 2-bed, 1-bath on the first floor. We've got a little basement. Reception for internet does not work down there. So I am actually right now, as you can see, I'm in my kitchen. Look, there it is. Look, do I need to clean the fridge? This is what I struggle with, Ken, is when I'm looking around, I'm in my kitchen and I'm making notes. And the next thing I know is I'm washing dishes because I'm OCD with my dishes. Or I just looked up on the fridge and thought, oh my God, I just showed everybody at the top of my fridge, probably need to clean that. So these are the distractions that you need to kind of just put out of your head. That's the stuff that I've been working towards, being set up in my kitchen, in my /home office. I cannot have those distractions. And so I've mentally had to place them out of my head and focus and keep in my lane. I call it keep it in your lane and focus on what I'm here to do. I still do connecting up with my clients from 9 to 12. I have that time frame, and I try not to look at the fridge or the dishes. The dishes are done right now too, just to let you know. So
So
that's
what I'm hearing is mindset really. You
yes.
almost have to change channels. That I am now in the office. I am working. I am in production mode, and forget that my refrigerator is right there. See, my problem is I then go into the refrigerator. Uh, but we have to
Right.
forget that the refrigerator is right there, and we have to have that mindset. I mean, we were talking earlier that I think both of us operate this way, where you still get up at the same time and you still do your morning rituals at the same time, because you are getting ready to work and to be productive. It's not, I'm going to roll out of bed in my t-shirt and my sweats and roll to the kitchen table and start working. That's no mindset. That's not a way to be productive.
Mm-mm. I think you're right. I think the big key factors here is the mindset, your schedule, and then I also think some kind of release of getting out and walking. So it'd be like if you want to say ritual of exercise. I think mindset, schedule, and exercise somehow putting into this is those three key factors of this. So you're in your kitchen right now. How have you had to deal with the mindset? Have you had to change that, or you don't have an option?
Well, I know how I am, and you and I have talked, and when you talk about exercise and things like that, I am pretty strict about protecting, first establishing when that time's going to be during the day, and then protecting that time. So for example, today, when we're done here, I'm going to go for my usual run, because I haven't done that today yet. And I just, that is something that, not only the stress of what I do and we do, and then
Mm-hmm.
the added stress of what's going on in today's world, I know that I may not think I need to release, but I need to release. And exercise is my release, because otherwise I see people, eating more, maybe even drinking more. And then if they're not, yeah, and if they're not finding some kind of physical release, they may not be happy with themselves a couple months or a month from now when the dust settles, and they may even have established some bad habits.
No, exactly. I think that working from home is a complete mindset slash making sure that you're on schedule, because I've had friends that have called me that said, I can't stay out of the fridge. I'm in my pajamas all day. And so to me, it's like I get up and I do everything the exact same. So there is that schedule. And then what I'm noticing is I'm working in my business in the morning, and I've had an opportunity to work on my business with other things on the afternoon. So I've actually taken that schedule and made it more solid since I've been home, because I'm able to devote more time maybe right now to it. So it's actually worked out well. And then, like you were talking about running and everything, I've been doing just that morning exercise religiously, because I have that opportunity to do it right now at this moment, to even walk around my block, where before I felt like if I wasn't in the office at 8:30, then I'm not getting any of my work done. So now I have that
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to schedule everything perfectly, it seems like, for me personally.
Yeah, and the other thing that I found that I may not have realized in the beginning of this, but you have to train whoever's home with you.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's kids, a spouse. I mean, we each have a spouse. I have kids. You have a kid.
Yes.
Our kids are home because
Yes.
schools are closed, and it's like, oh my gosh, exciting! Dad's home. Hey, let's do this. Honey, no, I'm working. And they have to understand that this is the same as me being in the office. Or, my wife who, hey, go to the store with me, or let's watch a movie, or I'm not home because there's no work to do and I don't have anything to do. I'm working. Pretend you don't see me, and I am at the office. So there's that transition of training the family as well.
How long did it take you to train your family, Ken?
Within when I saw the distractions and kind of consistent, it within 2 days. By the second day,
They
I mean,
knew.
I just laid it down. I didn't really dance around it. I just laid it down. So
Daddy's got to work. Come on. I know. This is because I keep just showing you, because here we're at home. This is what my living room looks like right now. Can you see it? That is a
yes,
5-year-old that's been in my living room, and he has a fort up. So these are some of the distractions with my family that I've had to kind of like just really change that whole mindset. And it's great because my husband works from home now. And he always has. So he's good at working from home, but we have a 5-year-old running around the house. So we have to take kind of shifts. So our work is these shifts, and it works well for us. Right now they are downstairs being quiet, so I can do this. So it's like a shift. We just kind of work together. And I think that some of the best practices is if you do have a spouse, they are home, you do have kids, you guys have got to come together to make this happen for both of you. If that other person is also working from home, there's got to be an understanding and a mutual acceptance.
well, sure. And another thing I'm telling them, maybe because it just helps, me be productive, is when we come out of this pandemic,
Yeah.
what new skill will you have? Like
Mm.
if, my teenage kids and wife are home because my wife's a school teacher, so they have more downtime than I do. What are you doing with that downtime? Wouldn't it be a shame if after 45 days, 60 days, however long this is going on for, wouldn't it be a shame to come out of there and your friends and people can now like play the guitar or, have
Make
some
another
new skill
move.
set?
Yeah.
Right, have some new skill set, and you're like, well, I binged watched, everything on Netflix kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
I'm encouraging them, those things you've always wanted to do. Now's a good time.
It is a perfect time. I've heard some people I've talked to a lot of people in the industry, and I'm hearing they've rebalanced, they reset, they have taken
Yes.
time actually for themselves for the first time. Somebody even told me, a lender told me that he has now started eating lunch more, because before he was working so much he wasn't eating lunch, and he was just kind of skipping the lunch. Now he actually is eating lunch, and so he's learning that. So it's almost like this time is a really good time to rebalance and reset, and like you said, maybe learn something new, maybe adventure out. We're starting to do Spanish, little Spanish lessons in the morning for 5 minutes. My
Oh,
son and
great.
I are doing it on an app, so it's kind of fun for him and it's fun for me as well with him, but it's like a time in the morning just to do that, just to see. Now, are we going to be speaking fluent Spanish as this? No, but we're setting a habit now while we're doing this. Another thing that, sometimes just being home a lot, I noticed that I needed some things, some tools around me to make it feel like it's my home office, even though it's a corner of my kitchen. So I did this like whiteboard up here, but it's just a window that I had out in my garage. I didn't want to go spend the money. I wanted to save some money because realistically, we need to save as much money as we can right now. We just don't know what's happening. So I just took an old window, put it up here. Now it's my whiteboard, so my momentum keeps going. And I think it's important, whatever that momentum you had in your office or whatever is going to get you to clear your mind to keep focused. I think those are those really beneficial things to have around you or to set in your area that you're going to call your home office. And I like plants, so I put my plant here. Usually my water fountain thing that I have that we drink out of, that's over there. So I always put that because it just makes me feel like I'm in my office. So I think that also finding that space that makes you feel like you're going to work is really beneficial, that makes you feel productive.
Yeah, it's a lot of what I always call mind games. You're playing games with your mind. Like you're at home, but if I get up early in the morning like I would normally, shower, shave usually, and do those things I normally do. Get dressed, get out of your sweats, go to your home office. You have things in your home office that tell your brain, this is my office and it's time to work and be productive. Those are all the things I know I have to do to play tricks on my brain just to help me get in that zone. And I don't think that's uncommon from a lot of people. I think where they fail is they allow themselves the multitude of distractions that are there at your house, whether it's kids, food. I can, knock out a quick, forensic files 2 show on Netflix or whatever.
Cleaning my kitchen, cleaning my fridge.
Right, right. I think that's where people fail is they're not good at holding themselves accountable.
Yes.
I know our leadership crew at Keller Williams Spokane, we meet every morning via Zoom, kind of like this. And we hold each other accountable on things that we need to get done. And everybody needs to be held accountable. And a lot of people who are not used to working on their own at home, they can find themselves failing because they are unable to, or they're not very good at holding themselves accountable. And 4 weeks later, they're just not happy with where they're at because they have not held themselves accountable.
Yes. Yes. And I think you go back to those 3 things, the mindset, the schedule, no distractions during your time that you're actually putting into your business. I think that that's so true. And also some kind of release. I mean, it has to be that. And we just go back to those. They're the 3 key elements. The distractions are the hardest thing. Don't look at it. Keep your mind focused. I have this little to-do thing that I've started at my house, and it's a to-do list that I always have at the office. But my to-do list, I make it just on a bigger piece of paper. And every time I'm done with it, I cross it off. And I see that I have 3 left that I know I can do them before my 12 o'clock ending time of working in my business. And I make sure that I cross them off really big. So it makes me feel like I'm conquering something. And it makes me feel like that momentum I had in the office is the same thing. It's the distraction. And I tell myself not to worry about it. It doesn't exist. So I just do that. So you're same thing. You gotta just keep focused. And I think that just keep doing the exact same things that you do every morning, like your ritual and your routine is going to be beneficial to anybody that wants to work from home, anybody that's thinking about going into this industry in the future, that's going to maybe have a home office, or you just are starting your home office this week or last week or this last few weeks. These are some of the keys that have been successful for you, for me, for others as well.
Yeah, and if we all need to be held accountable, which we do, what about having an accountability partner? I mean, even the fact that we're in isolation and lockdown and at home, we could still find accountability partners that we
Yes.
check in with,
Yeah.
and you don't want to let each other down, so you're more inclined to do the things necessary to be successful. Get an accountability partner if anybody out there is struggling with the working from home deal.
I love that. That's a great idea. Yeah, why not? And
Yeah.
then they can hold you accountable. How are you doing with your goals and all that stuff? Yep. I love it.
That's right. But then I also need to, because my wife said something pretty interesting to me. She said she sees less of me now working from home than when I went to the office every day. And I thought,
What?
well, that's an interesting thing to say. And she says, you don't get a break when you're at home because it's just constant, constant, constant. Where in the office, people are coming into my office. I'm not on the phone. We're talking face to face. I'm walking down
Yeah.
the hall. I'm checking in with people. But here at the house, a whole day goes by and I haven't moved because it's just been chasing calls and doing what I do. So what I have found is like yesterday when I was done, I was done. And
Mm.
I turned everything off, and it didn't matter to me that people were trying to get me at 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I had
Yeah.
to tap out because I was done. And so I think, you kind of have to do that too, because otherwise, especially if you're using your kitchen and like I'm doing now, oh, you know what? I'm going to go get some water. Oh, wait, I'm just going to check my email real quick because my computer's right there. Stop that. Stop it.
Let it
Like
go.
you've put in your time that day. Like otherwise you're going to be working around the clock, and then there's the stress and the eating and, that whole bad negative road to go down.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
shut it
really
down.
shut down. And you should be doing that anyway. But being at home, it's probably harder because you're right there. It's like your little mini office. So that's good that you shut down yesterday. It's good. You need to do that.
So I apologize. I didn't call you back.
Oh, no, I think he was talking to me. No, it's good. And I also think that, Ken, you've been really working out more too. And I think that activity, the physical piece, is going to help with not being so stir crazy. Just getting out. I mean, we do have some great days right now. There's a few dreary days mixed in there, but the snow days, I mean, this could be a worse time. This could have been in the middle of like December, January, where it was harder to get outside. We are, if this was going to happen, I mean, it's, it's nicer outside. There's no ice on the ground. It's a little bit warmer. So it's kind of, it's kind of nice, but I like that you're mixing in that physical piece too, because it is that whole set. You've got to be physical during this time frame or you will go stir crazy.
And that is a habit that I want to continue working out as much as I've been working out, which has been about every day. So hopefully when we go back, I'll be able to continue that. But yeah, it's just a release. And my gosh, we are at the end of the show already.
Hey, thank you. So a couple good tips working from home. Remember, it's about mindset. It's about your schedule. It's about no distractions in that schedule, holding yourself accountable, getting an accountability partner, and also throwing in some extra exercise, maybe if you can, even walking around the block to just kind of get the endorphins, getting out of that, the home, staying inside the home. Right, Ken?
Yes. Yep. And train your family.
Oh, yeah. It's like train your dragon, but train your family. Yes, exactly.
Train your family. So, gosh, okay, folks, there's another show for you. Tanya Tyler, Keller Williams Spokane, as always, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And shout out to Keller Williams Spokane for hosting this show, for sponsoring this show, excuse me. Can't do it without you folks at Keller Williams Spokane. Yeah. And folks, I hope you had some takeaways here. I know it's something we're still kind of going through and picking up new ideas here and there, but I have faith in you. So as always, thank you for joining us on Real Estate Talk, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Keller Williams Spokane.